Hello friends, in this video we will see filters in AngularJS. Now what are filters? A filter formats a value of an expression for display to the user. Filters can be used in view template, controllers or services. A filter selects a subset of items from array and return it as a new array. So basically in AngularJS you can use filters to sort something, to sort a list, to sort a collection, to filter a collection based on user input, or to format a particular value like amount value in currency or a date value in some particular format, so you can use filter for those operations. Using filters in view template, so view template basically refers to an HTML page, you can say. Now filters can be applied to expressions in view template as shown below. So we usually use filters with expressions. So when you specify an expression in double curly braces, you have to use a pipe operator and then you have to specify your filter. So this is what you use filter in the view template. So this is the syntax. Now filters can be applied to the result of another filter. This means that you can basically chain the filters. Like you have chaining concept in jQuery methods, similarly you have chaining concept in filters as well. So output of this first filter will be input to the second filter. Now filters can have arguments as well. Arguments means the parameters. So you can specify the arguments using a colon. So after you specify the filter, you can use colon and then you can specify whatever argument you have. So you can specify n number of arguments separated by colon depending upon how many your filter accepts. So we have inbuilt filters, like we have inbuilt directives in AngularJS. So these filters are order by, limit to, lowercase, uppercase, filter and currency. So we'll see example of each of these. Coming to the next point is using filters in controllers, services and directives. Just few minutes back we have seen how we can use filters in view templates. Similarly we can use filters in controllers, services and directives as well. So we'll see example of that as well, how we can use filters in controllers. Now we can also create our own custom filters. So depending upon your requirement, if your requirement doesn't suit inbuilt filter, you can create your own filters as well. So this is a very good functionality provided by AngularJS for the users. We'll see that as well. We'll see demo on that as well, how you can create your own custom filter. So let's move to our demo part. So we have a simple HTML page, that is Angular demo start HTML, and we have followed a modular structure to create a setup for AngularJS. So we have a body tag. So this body tag is connected to my app module using ng app, and this my app module is registered in app.js. You can see my app, and we have specified two dependencies here, that is controllers and directives. So when this module is registered or loaded, it calls my app.controllers module. So this module is present in controller.js. You can see angular.module my app.controllers, and it basically loads my controller or register my controller with the AngularJS app. And we also have a directive.js. So basically this also gets loaded or registered with the module. We also have filter.js. Currently we don't have anything in this file, but when we are going to create a custom filter, then we are surely going to have something here. And all these JS files are referred on our main HTML page. So you can see app.js, controller.js, directive.js and filter.js. We have a div, simple div, and this div is connected to my CTRL controller using ng controller directive, and we are showing a message which is set in this controller, that is scope.message. So let's start with the demo part. So we are going to start with the inbuilt filters. So the first filter is order by. So in order to demonstrate order by, we need to have a array or a collection. So we have a collection of players which we have stored in the players property in the scope. So what we are going to do here is we are going to generate an unordered list out of it. So let's create an unordered list inside this div. So I'll have a line break and I'll create one UL unordered list, and inside this UL I'll have li tag. Now the number of players, the number of li tag I want. So inside this li tag I'll have ng repeat directive, and I'll iterate over all the players using player in players, and I will bind player's name property. So player dot name. Okay, so when I refresh my HTML page, you can see all the players have been listed here. Now we are going to use order by filter in this scenario. So we cannot specify order by filter here because order by works on a collection and this is a particular single value. So where we are specifying a collection, so we are specifying a collection here. So we can use a pipe operator here and we are going to say order by, and then we have to specify the property. So the property is name. So when I refresh my HTML page, so you can see it has been ordered in the ascending order. Similarly, if you want to order it in descending order, either you can specify a hyphen in front of the name property. So if in that case also you can see it is ordered in the descending order, or you can specify one more argument, so that is a third argument, and you can specify true. So this will also render it in the descending order. So you can see the sequence hasn't changed. So this is how you can use order by. Now we'll have one more collection, basically more sophisticated collection with more properties. So I'll replace this collection and I have a better collection with more properties. So I'm going to show this collection inside a table. So let's have a table structure first. So I've created a table and inside that I'll have a header row. So in order to create header row, I'll have 3 th tags. And I'll specify name, goals and assist in it. And similarly I'll have row tag as well. Now as many players I have, that many number of rows I want. So I'll have ng repeat at this tr level and I'll say player in players, and inside this I'll have whatever td I want to show. So basically we are going to have 3 tds as we have 3 properties, and I will use expression to bind player dot name. Similarly I'll bind 2 other properties as well. So my other properties are assist and goals. So if I refresh my HTML page, you can see a tabular structure being rendered. So now let's have a filter as well. So I'll say order by, and first I'll use name property to order by. So you can see the tabular data in ascending order of name or by name. Now I want it to be ascending order of goals. So you can see it has been ascending order of goals. Now I want the maximum goals at the top, so I'll use the descending order of goals. So you can see the player with the most goals at the top. So this is how you can use order by with multiple properties as well. So let's move to the next filter. So next filter is limit to. So basically limit to, what it does is it basically restricts the amount of data you want to show. So if I use limit to and I specify 4, only that many rows will be shown in the table. So you can see you have restricted it to 4. So this is the basic use of limit to. We have lowercase and uppercase as well. Now as the name suggests, lowercase and uppercase will mostly work at the value level, not at the collection level. Okay, so what we can do, we have to specify uppercase here. Okay, so when you refresh your page, you can see the name in the uppercase. Now if I change it to lowercase, similarly you will see it in lowercase. So the next filter we have is the filter itself. So we can use this filter to basically use as a search criteria as well. So let me remove all the filter criterias to have a table. So we have our original table and we are going to have one text box. So I'll use input type equal to text to render my text box, and we are going to use ng model directive to have a model property that is search criteria. So let me refresh my page. So you can see a text box here. So now when I'm going to type something in this, so this table will be filtered based on that text. So in order to do that, there is a inbuilt filter named filter, and after that you have to specify the text. So text is basically is present in this property, so you have to use this property, which will be the value of this property will be given by this text box. So what happens as soon as you type something in this, so suppose you type S, all the names with S will be filtered, then A, then SA, Santi Cazorla and Sanchez SA. So this is how you can use filter, inbuilt filter in AngularJS. So our next filter and the last filter is currency. So currency is basically works with a particular value. So for now, currently I don't have any amount property here, but currency works with basically the numbers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply it to goals for now, just for a sake. So I specify here currency. So when you specify currency, you can see a dollar sign with that value and a particular in a double format. So this is about the currency inbuilt filter. So this is about the inbuilt filters. So there are many other filters present, but we have captured the basic ones. Now we are going to see how we can use filters in controllers. So in order to demonstrate that, let me remove all the filter criteria here, and we'll have a simple table being rendered, and we don't want this text as well, input type text as well. So simple table we have. So let me refresh my HTML page, so you can see a simple table. Now whatever we have done order by here, we are going to do it in our controller itself. So what we are going to do here is, so in order to do that, we have to inject the filter. So basically you can see currently I have injected a filter, and so this is known as a dependency injection. So when my controller finds that dollar filter is injected, so it passes it into a dollar filter. So we have every filter a dollar filter object here, so we have to extract order by filter out of this. So what we are going to do here is, we are going to have a variable and we are going to name it as order by, and we are going to assign order by filter to it. So what it does, it basically assign order by filter to this variable. So now what we are going to do here is, we are going to assign the scope with the ordered in the ordered manner, and we are going to order the input. So our input is scope dot players, and the second parameter is the predicate, basically on what terms you want to order. So we want to order it on the basis of name. Okay, and then if we refresh our page, so you can see our list is ordered by on the basis of name. So we can change our predicate. So I want it to be goals. So now it is, the list or the table is in order based on the goals. So this is how you can use filter in your controller. So basically you have to inject the filter as a dependency injection. You have to take it as a parameter in your function, controller function, and then you have to extract the order by filter out of this dollar filter and into a variable. Then you can use this to call a function, that is order by function. You have to specify the input array, or you can say collection, and then you have to specify on what property you want to sort the collection. So this is how you can use filters in controllers. So we are done with that, and we are going to move to our next part, that is custom filters. So in order to work with the custom filter, let me clean my view completely. So we don't want these things or this HTML for the custom filter. So we have a clean HTML. Now in order to use this filter.js, we have to register to it our model. So model, or I can say module, sorry. So basically module. So my module name is my app, and I'm going to specify my filters module as filters, and then I have no dependencies here. And these namespace, you can say, I'm going to register in my app section. So when my app is loaded, these dependency will be loaded with my app. So now I'm going to create filter. So I say filter function. I'm going to name my filter. So I'm going to write a filter which reverses a particular string. So I'm going to name it as a reverse, and I'm going to pass a function to it, and then inside this filter I'm going to return a function. So this function basically takes the input, okay, and it is going to return some output. So inside this I'm going to basically reverse a particular string, so I'm going to write a particular logic. So let's define our logic. So I say if input is null, so specify blank value, then let me have a variable out variable, and I'm going to iterate over all the input characters I'm getting. So I say where I is equal to 0, and I'm going to iterate over input dot length, and inside for loop I'm going to assign it to output, and I'm going to capture a particular character in the input. So in order to do that, I can use input dot caret function, and I'll use I, that is a counter, and I'll assign it before my output, and finally I'm going to return my output out of this. So this is the simple logic we have written, and our reverse filter is ready to use. So let's have an example to utilize this filter. So I'm going to have a input text here, so basically a text box. So I'll render input type text, and I'm going to use ng model directive to have a property in the scope, and the name of this will be my text, and I'm going to bind this text whatever I'm entering in the text box. So I'll use my property my text. Okay, so if I refresh my HTML, so whatever I type, that will be binding there. Now I'm going to bind again, and I'm going to use my reverse filter. Okay, so now if I refresh it and if I type hello, you can see the characters which are displaying at the last is in the reverse order. So that means our filter is working. Similarly, you can combine the uppercase behavior with this filter. So how we can do that? So we can have one more argument here. So the next argument we can accept is of type boolean uppercase, and we can check here if the argument provided is true, then we are going to assign out with out.to uppercase, and finally we are going to return out. So what happens if in your view you specify true after your reverse, and if you refresh it and type hello again, so you can see your characters in uppercase. So this is how we have combined the reverse and uppercase behavior in the same filter. Just the behavior will be applied based on your arguments. So this is how you can create your own simple filter. So basically in the same manner you can have very complex filters, and you can work with the filters. So this is all about filters, and we'll try to cover more complex scenarios in our future videos. So I hope you like the basic video on filters in AngularJS. Thank you, friends.